I want you to really feel these words. I am safe to honor my no. My no is a complete sentence. I do not need to over explain. My time is mine. I get to choose how I spend it. I release the guilt. I am valuable because of who I am, not just what I do for everyone else. It is safe to rest. It is safe to have limits. I am calm. I am grounded. And I am worthy of my own boundaries.
You've been strong all week. This is your space to just be safe. You're listening to Melanated and Highly Regulated. I'm Martita, and I help high performing Black women turn off the noise and tune in to their own nervous systems. Whether you are in the C suite or the classroom, you deserve to operate from a place of peace. Let's get regulated.
You know that feeling. I think we've all been there at least once. It's about 4:55. You get off at 5 o'clock, and your manager, maybe a colleague or somebody else, they catch you about to head out the door, or you might even be on your lunch break, okay? And maybe your administrator comes up to you. The point is, they want to ask for a small favor, right? Your brain can't even process their request, but your mouth is already talking about, yeah, I can handle that. Now, the second they walk away, you feel it. You get this heaviness in the pit of your stomach. You get tightness in your chest. You get heat rising up on your neck. This is resentment. You're resentful at them for asking you this favor, but most importantly, you are also resentful toward yourself for agreeing to this, right? You just gave away time you know you didn't have. You just traded your peace for their convenience once again. Now, for those of us who are high achieving Black women and leaders in these spaces, this isn't about being nice just to be named nice. It goes deeper than that. Some of us carry that superwoman cape like it's glued to our attire. We have been conditioned to believe that our worth is tied to how much weight we can carry without buckling or breaking down. And we think if we set a boundary, then we'll be seen as difficult or not a team player or aggressive. Air quotes around all those words and phrases, but you get the picture. So if we say yes, we think we're trying to keep ourselves safe, but in reality, that yes is costing our spirit. I want you to know this right now, okay, sis? That guilt you feel when you think about saying no is not a personal failure. It is a programmed stress response. But we can interrupt that program. And we're going to do that today with an emotional freedom technique tapping meditation. We're going to use this to interrupt the program and retrain our body, retrain our brain. And we're going to do it right now. We want to send a signal to the nervous system that lets it know that it's safe to set a boundary. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this. Some of you may be thinking, why are we tapping? Why does tapping work? How does it work? When you feel that panic about setting a boundary, your body is in a stress response. It's often the fawn response, trying to please others in order to stay safe. It's a form of people pleasing, saying yes without honoring our true selves. Now, that's going to raise cortisol. What tapping does is it lowers the cortisol in your system and it tells your brain, I'm not in danger just because I'm prioritizing myself. And it's safe to say no. So if you're listening to the audio of this, or even if you're viewing this on YouTube, I want you to find a comfortable place to sit. If you're driving, just listen and follow along. And maybe you can come back and do this with us once you're in a position where it's safe to do so, okay? Now we're going to start tapping on the karate chop point. Now the karate chop point is this fleshly part of your hand on the outside between your pinky and your wrist, okay? That's what we call the karate chop point. So we're going to tap on that karate chop point, and you can use 2 fingers or 3 fingers from the opposite hand to start tapping. And just tap gently and rhythmically, all right? Very good. So go ahead and take a deep breath in, let it out. So while we're tapping on the side of your hand, you can repeat the following phrases after me. You can say them out loud or in your head. Even though I feel this heavy guilt for saying no. Or maybe I feel resentful because I said yes when I didn't want to. I deeply and completely accept myself. We're still tapping on the side of the hand. Even though I have this program running that says I have to do it all to be worthy, I choose to acknowledge how tired I am right now, even though I am terrified that if I set a boundary, they will think I am difficult or incapable. I am open to the possibility that I can protect my energy and my peace and still be a good leader. All right, now we're going to start tapping on the eyebrow point. Now, this is the beginning of your eyebrow near your nose. Okay, so gently tapping there with those two fingers, the index finger and the middle finger. We'll tap there, and again, you can repeat these phrases either out loud or in your mind. This heavy guilt in my stomach. I feel it every time I think about saying no. Now we're tapping on the side of the eye. This is the outer corner on the bone near your temple. I am so tired of carrying everyone else's load, but I am afraid to put it down. Now we're tapping under the eye, near the cheek, on the bone. This pressure to be the strong one, the one who fixes everything, the one who never complains. Tapping under the nose, above the upper lip. If I don't do it, who will? I feel like I have to save everyone. Now tapping on the chin point underneath the lower lip, and I am resentful. I am angry that I put myself last again. This boundary guilt is exhausting me. Tapping on the collarbone is next, so we're going to find the hard nubby points and then go down about an inch, and we'll tap there on our chest. I am afraid of their reaction. I am afraid they won't value me if I'm not overworking. Now moving to under the arm, about 4 inches below the armpit, all this tension in my body. All this fear that I'm not doing enough. Now tapping on the top of the head, I acknowledge this stress. I acknowledge that I have been trained to ignore my own needs. I take a breath in and let it go. We're going to shift the narrative now, so we're going to start back tapping on the eyebrow point. But maybe, just maybe, saying no is actually an act of leadership. Side of the eye, maybe I am not responsible for how they react to my boundary. That is their work, not mine. Under the eye, I cannot pour from an empty cup. and my cup has been dry for a long time. Under the nose. It is safe for me to disappoint others to stay true to myself. Chin. I am releasing the need to be superwoman. I am hanging up the cape today. Collarbone. My energy is a finite resource. It is not an endless well for everyone else to drink from. Under the arm. I am allowing myself to prioritize my peace. Top of the head. I am reclaiming my time. Now we're going to get ready to anchor this in, and I want you to really feel these words, starting back at the eyebrow point. I am safe to honor my no. Side of the eye. My no is a complete sentence. I do not need to over-explain. Under the eye. My time is mine. I get to choose how I spend it. Under the nose. I release the guilt. I breathe in confidence. Chin. I'm valuable because of who I am, not just what I do for everyone else. Collarbone. It is safe to rest. It is safe to have limits. Under the arm. I am protecting my peace so I can show up a better me. Top of the head. I am calm. I am grounded. And I am worthy of my own boundaries. Now you can slowly and gently stop tapping. Place your hands over your heart. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale from your mouth. I want you to check in with that pit in your stomach. Notice if that sharp spike of guilt has dulled down to a hum. You might feel a little lighter, maybe a little more spacious in your chest. That is your nervous system coming back online. And you can come back to this practice anytime that pressure to overperform and people please and to not respect your own boundaries creep in. Remember, sis, you are worth investing in yourself. Make sure you are subscribed to this podcast or this YouTube channel for more tools to help you navigate when life is lifing. And you don't have to do this alone. If you are tired of running on fumes and you want measurable, science-backed relief, I want to invite you to check out the show notes or the description box to learn more about the Executive Reset Research Cohort Complementary Strategy Session. This is a private one-to-one 60-minute session that helps me further my research on high-performing Black women. You get real tools you can use, and I get data to continue to help women like you. Until we meet again, keep tapping and stay regulated.